What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're going to have another little quick discussion here in my messy garage. This is Alpha Camaro, and I am going to talk to you a little bit about my personal preference for radar detectors. Over the last 10 years, I've had 4 or 5 different models of radar detector. Why do I like this one? Well, first off, it's easy to use. Second, it's a touchscreen. Third, it's Cobra, which is a brand that I trust. This is an SLR 500. It's a couple of years old. The last several I've had have been Cobras. Before that, I had a Valentine, which was a really expensive 4-way radar detector that would actually tell you what direction the radar or the laser was coming from. I like this mount. I like kind of this incognito adjustment that you can do with this radar detector, where you can fold it up and make it smaller so that the light's not in your face. If you're not in that mood, it'll still make audible tones that you can recognize. I do like the touchscreen. It's not absolutely necessary, but it looks nice. And then this flashing 12.3 you can see on the screen is a voltmeter, and that is also, you can set a different threshold for that. Now in this car, the car's not running right now, but if it was running, especially at first startup, the battery is usually fully charged and there's no real draw, so the alternator is not running. This car has a pretty fancy power management system, all very electronic, all very modern. So oftentimes for the first 5, 6, 7 minutes or so, this radar detector, that voltmeter, is flashing at me telling me voltage is low because it's just not cranking anything out. So I like this mount, which has a silicone, like a donut on the back of it. I can peel that off there and move it to another one of my cars if I decide. And it sticks every single time. Nice suction cup. I can loosen this nut, I can twist it, I can lower it up and down. Very easy to use, very sturdy. The only irritating thing is, after you have them for a while, they all kind of do this. I don't know if you can kind of hear it, but it has almost a little squeak to it, which is not really its fault. It has a quick disconnect feature, which I also like, and you would like too if you are a big one for putting a blind up in your windshield to keep the sun out. You can see there's a little slot right there at the front. You can even buy multiple mounts and put a different mount in each car if you're not into buying multiple radar detectors. But you'll see, you usually have 2 hands to do this, but it just goes right back up there. No big deal. Let's look at the menu just a tiny bit. This also has a weird thing where I don't even touch the screen, and sometimes I'm driving down the road and the touch screen will come up by itself. I guess it's one of those quirky things. But it has IntelliMute, which of course means that if a signal is constantly repeating and the location isn't changing or modulating, then it mutes itself. And the IntelliMute's actually very good. I can power down the screen. I can turn the volume up and down. This particular radar, like if you've seen it some of my other videos, it'll say system ready. And that's like a cheesy thing, I guess. You can turn that voice part off. Reset to factory default. And that's really it. I mean, you don't need much more than that, to be honest with you. You can see it's pretty intuitive. Very easy to use. How many times has this saved me from getting a ticket? A whole bunch. This radar has probably saved me from being pulled over probably 15 times at least. So that's really nice. Now, it doesn't matter what radar you have, at least all the ones I've ever had, and I've had some nice ones. It doesn't matter what radar you have nowadays. When you're going down the highway, after you get your radar and you're all excited about using it, the first time you get into a group of like big rigs or big trucks, your radar is going to continuously just be bouncing off the walls, and you're going to be forced to unplug it. And the reason that is because a lot of them have jammers, and that drives me absolutely crazy. So to be honest with you, most of the time, unless you're on a dark highway at night, pretty late, not near a city, that's about the only time you're not going to have your radar just going constantly, because you get in with a bunch of trucks and it's going to be a mess during the day. Now on a back road or a small side street or something like that, or maybe just like a place where you're going to cruise or whatever, it can give you a heads up pretty quick that there's a cop nearby, especially if it seems to turn off and then quickly turn off again. The radar signal, that is. It'll turn on real quick and then turn off. And a couple of seconds later, it'll turn on and it'll turn off. That's a police officer using instant on. And then you'll get used to those kind of patterns. The one thing you don't want to hear is the dreaded laser sound, because if you hear the laser sound, that means it's already too late. The laser has bounced off your car and sent your speed back to the police officer. So anyway, I hope this helps. Again, this is a Cobra SLR 500. You can even buy a refurbed one I saw earlier for about $70 nowadays on eBay. I would highly recommend it. I've recommended it to several other people who had never even had a radar detector before. To me, man, that mount is the way to go. And that's a pretty fancy looking radar detector too. There are many others out there. I don't sell radar detectors. I haven't bought one in 2 years, right? I would recommend this one. Just like I said, for ease of use and some of the other things I pointed out. So I hope you like it. I hope this helps. I will say, if you're going to drive over 75 miles an hour, if you don't already have a radar detector, that's a little, you're being kind of crazy. You should have a radar detector. So help yourself out, drive safe, make good decisions. If you have a Camaro, keep enjoying it. Until next time, talk to you later.